It's time for your daily LSU baseball update with Musso at the box. Now, Matt Musso.
Off and running here on another edition of Musso at the Box. And today, I'm very excited to tell you that we are now presented by Got Lit Light Installers. We'll tell you plenty more about them here momentarily. I am also fired up to tell you that it's time. It's here. Opening day, my favorite day of the year, right around the corner. This will be the last time that we speak until LSU finishes up game number 1 against Purdue Fort Wayne. Of course, then we'll have our post game. But on today's show, obviously, it centers all around opening weekend. We will go through a brief preview of Purdue Fort Wayne, look at the pitching matchups for each day, what to expect on each side, and then an overall look at what to watch for with LSU here as they open up the 2025 season. I have one broad thing that I want to see and a few more individualized and specialized things that I want to see over the course of the 3-game weekend as LSU opens the 2025 season. It is a great day. This is one of my favorite shows of the season to do because finally it's less about LSU and more about another team, even though, yeah, it's Purdue Fort Wayne. So, again, it'll be brief, but we get to talk about something else other than just LSU, which we've been doing now for 3 weeks. So smash the like button if you have not already. Get subscribed if you have not already on your favorite podcast app, as well as on the YouTube channel. Just search Musso at the Box. It's right there. Take us wherever you go. Hit the notification bell as well so you get notified each time episodes are posted or each time we go live. So it's time, is it not? Let's dive right into it. We'll start a brief overview on Purdue Fort Wayne, a couple players to watch, and then we'll get into our pitching matchups. Purdue Fort Wayne, the Mastodons, incredible mascot. Might be the best mascot LSU sees all season long, so they have that check mark in their favor. They are out of the Horizon League where they struggled a season ago. Purdue Fort Wayne in 2024 went 19-37. Now, that led to a lot of turnover. There is a bunch of new faces on this team, a lot of them coming from the junior college ranks and or lower levels of Division II or whatnot baseball in the NCAA. So it's not going to be this immensely talented team coming in, but that does not mean there aren't a few players to watch. So let's get into that here momentarily. That starts with infielder/outfielder Justin Osterhaus. Justin Osterhaus is the one guy on Purdue Fort Wayne that has MLB draft potential. D1 baseball, they do their draft rankings for each conference, right, as they go throughout the season. They have Osterhaus rated the number 3 prospect in the Horizon League for the 2026 MLB draft. So he's entering his sophomore season. It was a phenomenal freshman year for Osterhaus. He slashed .355, .424, and .609, hit 9 dingers in his freshman season, earned All Horizon League second team honors, is preseason first team All Horizon League this season. That is the guy that if LSU is in a tight ball game, you cannot let beat you in this lineup. Justin Osterhaus, legit Major League Baseball prospect entering his second season of college baseball. The other guy to really note here in the lineup for Purdue Fort Wayne for the Dons is Nick Hockmeyer. Hockmeyer is also preseason All Horizon League here in 2024. He's a Fort Wayne native, but spent the last season in junior college, where he was a first-team All-American in Division III of junior college, hit almost 400. Actually, he led his team in most of these categories as well. Doubles, hits, total bases, RBI. He had a great year. We'll see how, obviously, that translates for him. Obviously, going up against LSU is going to be much different than the teams he faced when he was at Dallas College Richland. But that is really the other name to know here in that lineup. A few freshmen to keep an eye on as well. Drew Helton, Trent Murphy, and Tyson Greenwood for the Dons, all ranked in the top 10 in D1 baseball's impact freshmen in the Horizon League. Drew Helton, as a matter of fact, ranked number 3. So they've got some talent that they're really excited about. But overall, when you look at Purdue Fort Wayne, this is a team, again, that won 19 games a season ago and is coming in and on paper is way overmatched. Baseball is not played on paper. Baseball is a game where any team can beat anybody on any given day. LSU lost to Southern last season for the 4th time in their program's history. Okay? Things happen. LSU still going to have to go out there and play their game and execute and play sound baseball in order to get the series win and maybe a little bit extra. That is your overview on Purdue Fort Wayne. Before we get into our pitching matchups, I do want to take this time now to tell you a little bit more about Gotlit Light Installers, who we welcome onto the show today. They will be with us throughout the rest of the season, and I'm fired up for this. You're probably very familiar with Gotlit. You should be. You've probably heard many of us talk about them across multiple different platforms or here at Guarantee, I should say, over the last few years. They started out Christmas lights, right? Commercial or residential, install, maintenance, storage, all of those things with Christmas lights. And they do a fantastic job. And I'm here to bring you the news that they are now expanding their services beyond Christmas lights. Again, commercial or residential, still, same great high standard of customer service that Derek and his team offer over there. You're not going to get it anywhere else other than Gotlit. And in their expansion, now you're looking at event lighting. You have a wedding coming up, party, maybe you're hosting an engagement party or whatnot at your house or at your business. Maybe your business has an anniversary party coming up. You need lights for that. Temporary event lighting now available over at Gotlit. You want something more permanent. Maybe you just redid some landscaping at your home, in your backyard. You put in a pool. Gotlit's got you covered there too. Permanent landscape lighting, backyard lighting, anything to accent your home or business, Gotlit has you covered. Again, same great service. They will maintain. They will custom cut, fit everything to your design dreams over at Gotlit. Gotlitlights.com. Gotlitlights.com. You can get a quote right there on the website, or you can call. Phone numbers listed. I also encourage you, check out their Facebook page as well, because you'll see some of the other things that they're doing in terms of decoration for other holidays, Mardi Gras, Easter, whether it's wreaths, maybe some lights, things of that nature. They have you covered, but they are expanding the business. Temporary event lighting, permanent lighting as well for your home or business. Gotlit Lights, that's the place to go. And when you do, let them know you heard it. Do me a solid and let them know you heard it right here on Musso at the Box. Fired up to have those guys aboard. Derek and his team, they do great work. Again, high level of customer service, high level of relationship over there with Gotlit. Again, many of you have probably worked with them before, so you know what I'm talking about. Now they're there for all your lighting needs. Gotlit Light Installers, proud to have them aboard here on Musso at the Box. Okay, pitching matchups for this weekend. We know LSU's rotation. Let's start. Take it day by day. We'll go Friday. Cade Anderson going to toe the rubber for LSU. Sophomore lefty. Appeared in 18 games a season ago as a freshman with 9 starts. 4-2 record, a 3.99 ERA, 38 1/3 innings pitched. He walked 20 and punched out 59. The opponent hit just 262 against Cade Anderson. What are you looking for from Cade Anderson? Well, this is new for him. There's a lot new for him. Anderson got off to a great start as a freshman in 2024, hit the lull in conference, but finished the season as strong as you could. Since his great outings in the SEC tournament and the Chapel Hill Regional, he has really devoted himself in the weight room by all accounts, put on a little bit more weight. He has added a 4th pitch, been working on a slider to complement the fastball change and that big 12-6 curve that he had. So now you're looking at 4 pitches from the left side. You obviously want to see how he mixes those here in his first start. And then it's his first start on opening day. Obviously had 9 starts season ago, but opening day start, much different with the number 2 team in the country. Should be a great crowd at the box, even with the 2:00 first pitch. How does he handle that stage? So that's obviously what you want to see, aside from just, the leadership and the 4 pitches now and how he mixes all of those things. I think Cade Anderson should handle it fine. This is a guy who LSU threw into the fire a little bit. I mean, he made 2 road starts in the midweek, especially one at Southeastern. It was in a hostile environment, and he shoved. So I kind of expect Cade Anderson, not that there's not going to be any butterflies for him, but for them to be semi-limited in this go-round. So that's what you're looking for Anderson. Excited to see him toe the rubber on the bump for opening day. For Purdue Fort Wayne on Friday, this will be grad senior Dylan Fisher, righty, 6'5", 225. He comes to Purdue Fort Wayne from junior college, where he made 13 appearances a season ago with 9 starts. He did throw 2 complete games, 57 2/3 innings pitched, but had an ERA over 8.7. So you're looking at a guy who has a build you want for a game 1 pitcher in college, 6'5", 225. But this is going to be a massive step up in competition for Dylan Fisher, going from Earlham College to opening day at Alec Box Stadium, facing the 7-time national champions and number 2 team in America to start 2025. It's going to be a tough ask for him, but we'll see what he's got. His best season in college was 2023. He had a career high in, a career high in ERA at 4.38, career best, and led his team in innings pitched, also through 3 complete games that season. So he has had some success, but coming off a really rough season last year and taking a major step up, we'll see what Dylan Fisher has to offer, but he will match up against Cade Anderson. Game number 2 for LSU, obviously we know that is going to be transfer righty junior Anthony Ianson, 6'2", 208. We've talked plenty about him. Comes to LSU from UC San Diego last season. 14 appearances, had some starts, but some bullpen action as well. A 6-2 mark with an ERA of 3.07, 82 innings, struck out 85, and the opponent hit 190 against Ianson a season ago. Rated number 87 in perfect games, top 100 juniors, was rated number 4 among the transfers, top 100 transfers per Baseball America. Ianson, all Big West a season ago, USA Baseball Collegiate National Team. You're going to see a fastball in the mid-90s and 4 pitches. He's a scout's dream. The 4-pitch mix, the big fastball. What we want to see here is just it begin to translate. He's pitched very well so far in the fall and the preseason for LSU, was 3rd on the Tigers team in the fall in ERA. How does it translate over now? That, again, same thing with Cade Anderson. This is a whole new arena for him. Anderson starting opening day. Ianson getting his first start in major college baseball for a program like LSU. The lights are going to be bright. The stands are going to be packed. How does he fight through those early butterflies, and can he go out there and dominate and start to show that I belong? I get it, it's Purdue Fort Wayne, but I want to see Anthony Ianson say that I belong here this weekend. So that's going to be a fun, obviously, matchup to watch on Saturday. For the Dons on Saturday, or game 2, I should say, Zane Danielson, junior transfer, comes from Lincoln Land Community College, his first year at Purdue Fort Wayne. Big lefty, 6'7", 215. A season ago, 4-1 at the junior college ranks with an ERA of 4.62, 39 innings. This is the big number. He struck out 60, so there is some put it past you stuff. He can be overpowering at times. Big step up in competition, I understand, but when you're looking for what is probably the best arm for Purdue Fort Wayne here from a starting standpoint, it is likely going to be Zane Danielson on Saturday. He actually had a great 2-season career in junior college. So pretty nice pickup here. We'll see how he elevates his game against LSU. Obviously, Chase Shores for LSU on Sunday. And this is going to be one that everybody has their eye on. So I will keep this brief because when we get into individuals, Chase Shores is absolutely an individual that I want to see for LSU here on opening weekend, I should say. But we'll take you back to 2023. Of course, Shore started that season in LSU's rotation, got hurt at the end of March in a series against Tennessee, missed all of last season. So 7 appearances as a freshman in 2023 with 4 starts. He was 0-1 with an ERA of 1.96, 18 and a third innings, 9 walks, 15 strikeouts. Obviously, we know about the big fastball. It can get up to 100, really sit kind of 97, 99. He's working on that slider and refining that, adding a few pitches here and there and coming off of the injury. This is a great spot for him to be in, but just seeing him get back out there on the mound is going to be a win. We can talk more about the intrigue and what you want to see from him this weekend as we get a little bit later on in the podcast. But Chase Shores will go on Sunday, game 3 for LSU. For Purdue Fort Wayne, it will be Gavin Walters, another junior college transfer in his first season up there for the Mastodons. 6'2", 215 pounds, fires from the right side. Lansing Community College the last 2 years, 13 appearances a season ago with 8 starts, 47 strikeouts, and 43 innings, and a sub-3 ERA, 2.93. That was the best on his JUCO teams a season ago. Also logged 7 wins, struck out an average of 9.84 guys per game. So said Zane Danielson might be the best arm. If he isn't, Gavin Walters is going to be the best arm that you see from Purdue Fort Wayne here this weekend. It'll be in game 3. So a guy who shows the ability to strike out, really kept the runs low, totaled a bunch of wins. We'll see. Translate all those things. Huge step up in competition, but it certainly looks like the pitching improves over the course of the weekend for the Dons after you get through Dylan Fisher there on Friday. All right. We've gone through the rotations. We've given you players to kind of watch for Purdue Fort Wayne from an offensive standpoint. Let's now look at what to watch this weekend. What am I most excited to see from LSU as they roll the ball out there, throw the first pitch, get their first hits, and get the 2025 season underway? Let's start with the broad thing, and then we'll get into the individuals. LSU needs to go out there and be LSU this weekend. What is the one thing I've talked about really since fall, but definitely this preseason? And I told you, I said, we're going to mention it every time we talk about this team. Pretty sure I have. What is it? What's the one thing? It has to come together faster for this team than it did a season ago. And that includes the pre-conference. I understand. Purdue Fort Wayne, not the opponent that's really going to get anybody excited. The only reason it does is because it's opening weekend. And if LSU goes out there and dominates Purdue Fort Wayne for 3 games, sweeps the series with ease, it's going to be very easy to hand wave that away and said, it was Purdue Fort Wayne. But exactly. That's what should happen. To me, that is a sign. It's not going to mean that LSU is going to win the national championship. Not going to mean LSU is going to win the SEC or go 21-9 in conference play or anything of that nature. That's not what it's going to mean. But it can serve as a sign that this team's ready to play and they are on the track to being what we all think that they can be. I don't want to see LSU face adversity this weekend. I want LSU to go out there and absolutely dominate Purdue Fort Wayne for 3 games. I don't want any of them to be close. I want most of you turning the game off in the 7th inning and then tuning into Musso at the Box, presented by Gauntlet Light Installers, for the post game to hear about the rest of it. That's what I want this weekend. I want to come out of this weekend with not a lot of questions because we feel like we have a lot of the answers. You don't, but I want it to feel that way. Take 2023 for an example. And I know I can hear people saying 2023, Musso, it's arguably the best team in the program's history. You're right. But that team had a lot of expectation heaped on them. Why? Because you were coming off of a disappointing finish to the postseason in 2022, where you got eliminated in a road regional final, Game 7, actually. You went out and dominated in the transfer portal. You won the MLB draft, and you had a great crop coming back. You were preseason number 1 and the favorite to win the national championship. What did that team do? They went out there against Western Michigan and outscored them 24-5 over the course of 3 games, won that series, including a shutout in game number 1. Your stars, who you were expecting to be stars that season, looked like it. They looked like the contender everybody thought they could be. Now you go to 2024 and LSU, you're coming off the national championship. Yes, there's question marks. You've lost a lot. But, man, we were all high on the transfer portal guys you brought in. Thatcher Hurd, it looked like he was ready to take the next step. What's the rotation going to look like? Gage Jump, Luke Holman, all those things to really pay attention to. You got some good bats in there. Nice freshman class. How are they going to look? Your preseason top 10. Some polls had you top 5. And it wasn't a clean weekend. Thatcher Hurd only went 2 2/3, and you immediately started to ask the question, man, has he turned the corner? Is he the ace of this staff? Do you have one? You needed late inning heroics to win that game 12-7 against VMI. But you put up 12 runs. Like, okay, there were some question marks on the offense. Hey, you put up 12 runs. You go forward to the next day. LSU beats Central Arkansas 2-0. The offense really struggled. Now, it was like 25 degrees, but the offense struggled. But Luke Holman dominated. It's like, okay, Luke Holman looks like he's supposed to look. And then you put up 27 and routed VMI in game 3 because it was game 3 and they were out of pitching. But you had questions coming out of that weekend. You look at this year's team, they are much more similar to 23. Similar, not the same team, similar, than they are to 2024. So I want that type of performance. You lost a disappointing Game 7 in a road regional final to end your season. But then you brought in the number 1 ranked transfer class. You won the MLB draft again. Your preseason consensus top 5 as high as number 2 in the country, and you are one of the favorites to win the national championship. Sound familiar? I want to see your stars, who you expect to be stars, go out there and dominate. And I want to come away from this weekend going, okay, that team is ready to play. I did not feel that a season ago. And to me, that's important because the one thing I'm looking for is for it to come together quicker this season than it did a year ago, for LSU to really be able to reach all of their goals here in 2025. That's the broad. Who are those stars? We kind of already talked about what I wanted to see from Cade Anderson, from Anthony Ianson. Let's start with Chase Shores. How does it look? Because I'll be honest, I've seen it be a bit of a mixed bag. I've seen him absolutely dominate. I've seen him get knocked around the yard. I've seen him bounce back from that and give you length. How is the development of the secondary stuff coming along a little bit more? Now that it's into a real game and you're facing a team that hasn't seen you. Chase Shores might not need a lot of that this weekend because he throws 100 and Purdue Fort Wayne doesn't see that often. So maybe he just goes out there and looks awesome from a stuff standpoint. But where's the mental? First time on a mound in a real game since March of 2023. Does he fight through some stuff? What happens if and when he faces the first bit of adversity? Can he rise up and get out of it? The lights are on. Stadium's full. It's a stage again. It's not the 1,000 people in the stands, the scrimmage. How does it look? I've told y'all it might take some time with with Chase Shores, just as it did with Gage Jump a year ago. Jump came here, highly touted, coming off of Tommy John, all the stuff you want, scout's dream, but he had 16 in the third innings, and it took some time. When it clicked, he was awesome, and he was everything that we all thought and heard he was going to be. Chase Shores has pitched 18 in the third innings in college. Let's see how it looks. He might dominate through the pre-conference, just as Gage Jump did a year ago, because the stuff's just better. But once he gets deeper into the season, how's it going to look? So I think game 3 is a perfect spot for him. I'd love to see how LSU initially begins their bullpen situation. It's going to be tough to glean anything because they're going to use a lot of pitchers because they're still trying to figure that out. But Jay Johnson mentioned when he met with the media on Wednesday that he took a different approach and kind of wants to pare it down a little bit more into the bullpen where you have 8, sometimes 10. Well, they've got a lot more than that. But you're going to see the LSU debuts of some impressive arms this weekend. You'll see Connor Ware. You'll see Kason Evans. You'll see William Schmidt. Of course, you'll see Gavin Guidry and some of your returners. You'll probably see Zach Cohen. There's going to be a lot of new faces in that pitching staff. I'm curious to see what role they put certain guys into in their first opportunity and what you can glean from that. Offensively, Jared Jones and whoever's protecting him. Sure, everybody's going to want to go see Derek Curiel and see if he is the guy that I've hyped him up to be and that everybody else has hyped him up to be, and I get it. And I think you'll be pleased with that. But Jared Jones has to get off to a great start this season. And whichever guy is protecting him in the lineup has to get off to a great start this season. That is the one thing I am eager to see offensively. I have told y'all my preference coming off the weekend that he had. I would love it to be Jake Brown getting the first crack at protecting Jared Jones. So for the hypothetical spot here, let's say that it is. Jake Brown in this situation has to get off to a fast start. Of course, I'm interested to see all the transfers like Danny Dickinson, right? Chris Stanfield and guys like that. But for me, the offense centers around Jarrett Jones as it should. And how does Jarrett Jones handle some junk ball that he's going to see this weekend as well? I don't think Purdue Fort Wayne is going to be trying to throw many fastballs to Jarrett Jones. Now, he'll see some because the quality of breaking stuff probably isn't going to be up to par, and it's going to be hard for them to land it for strikes and things of that nature. But the patience at the plate, can that continue? You saw Jones' walk numbers tick up plenty a season ago. Want to see that just immediately carry over because there's going to be some guys trying to pitch around him, and he's going to have to be patient and selective. He was a year ago. Can that be taken to the very next level? And then again, whoever's behind him, show you belong in that spot. That for me is the single thing I want to see from LSU's offense this weekend. That's it. Everything else for me is going to be Lanyap, whether that's Dickinson, Milam, Braswell, Larson maybe getting some ABs, some of the transfers getting some ABs, potentially in there at DH. That's it. Jones and who's protecting him. Because that is my biggest concern right now for this team. Last but not least, the defense. I think LSU started out in this preseason not great defensively, but they have gotten better each time that I've been out there. They're not a finished product there, and they're a college baseball team. They're going to commit errors. That's just going to happen. But you have some shuffling on your infield with Milam and Braswell, each playing new positions. You have a new guy coming in Danny Dickinson. Obviously, I feel great about your outfield with Stanfield, Curiel, and pick your guy out and right. But the infield defense, something that I really want to watch. And then obviously behind the plate. You got the backstop. Do you? That's the question. That's been an issue for LSU the last couple of seasons. Balls getting through the catcher. When for a long, long time, it was not. Obviously, Michael Papierski, Ty Ross, Micah Gibbs. LSU went through a stretch there for a decade, maybe some more, where it was really, really, really good behind the plate. You've struggled a little bit there as of late, the last few seasons. Luis Hernandez looks like he's in line for that opening day start. How does he do behind the plate? That's what I really want to see defensively on the infield and catcher. Outfield, I feel great. So there it is. Dominate. I want to sit here on Sunday evening after this series ends and tell you that that's exactly what I wanted to see. And LSU outscored this team 31-3 over the course of 3 games. And they look like a team that's ready to continue to improve, get better, and achieve their goals this season. I want to come out of this with more answers and less questions. And then we'll watch them face adversity and improve and go through that as the season goes along. I don't need that this weekend. I need them to be the LSU Tigers. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Musso at the Box, presented by Got Lit Light Installers, gotlitlights.com. Y'all go give my people a shout, a check. Tell them you heard it right here on Musso at the Box. You'll be extremely satisfied with all the work that they do for you, whether it's residential or commercial. Be here next time for more. We'll have some live reactions. That's coming up. Fired up to bring those back after the game. So keep it locked right here. Musso at the Box on YouTube. And, of course, we'll have our full weekend recap after the series goes final on Sunday. Appreciate everybody being here, and be here next time for more on Musso at the Box.